Welcome to Community Hot Takes. We did have a planned guest tonight, but sometimes in life you don't always get what you want and you have to reschedule, which is not a problem because we always wanted to do a show with you guys and have your input, and that is exactly what we've done today. We've asked all of our social media community, if you want to call it that, the people from YouTube as well, what are your hot takes that you have to get out there? And let me tell you, there are some mad ones, crazy ones where you I can't believe I was reading some of them. I've tried gone from, we've had loads of submissions, so first and foremost, really appreciate that. I've tried to put out the best standout ones and that'll really get a debate going and spark a conversation. I think that's probably best to go with. These hot ones, Sam, can be when you see some of them, you think, fucking hell, it can be a little bit dicey at times, can't it?
Yeah, I was sifting through a couple and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is a thing. There was also some who just put, I don't think they understood the concept of controversial opinion, because some people were going, yeah, Dallo never needs to play for United again. I'm like, that's less controversial, that more universal opinion.
Yeah, you might actually get everyone going, do you know what, this guy's got something about him.
All right.
He's pretty spot on. Yeah. Listen, we don't need to mess about. Let's just dive straight into the first one. I tried starting light, and then we'll build up to some of the really hot ones. So if this was hot ones, if you've seen it before on YouTube, this is kind of the mild lemon pepper sauce, if you will. That's what I'll go with. Bruno Fernandes should be called a legend of the club. So that's a nice, easy one to start with. Again, we've had this debate before. What is your opinion on that?
I think my definition of legend is somebody who's won everything, is a massive contribution to the club, has outstanding records and stuff like that. And I think he ticks quite a few of the boxes. He just hasn't got the trophy haul to put him up there. But I think if anybody post Fergie was going to be labelled a legend and deserve the statue, it would be Bruno Fernandes. Like, he would be the only candidate in that Hall of Fame. Let's be honest.
I've said this for a while now. It's weird, isn't it? Because I feel like what he's done is legendary stuff. But in terms of being a legend at a club, especially a club like Manchester United, to be considered one of them, you're going to be in the same breath.
The standard's too high, in it.
Eric Cantona, Wayne Rooney, David Beckham, these guys who've won trebles, won Premier Leagues consistently. And to be compared to that and to say, okay, Bruno, in terms of quality, I think can compare with a lot of players. 100%. But his cabinet, I mean, what has he got in total? An FA Cup, a Carabao Cup. I'm trying to think, obviously, a couple of European finals, which didn't go his way as well.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Is that right? Under Ten Hag?
Yeah.
So it's it's a shame, really, isn't it, when you think about it?
Like, had he played it in Fergie's era, he's definitely a legend. In terms of his records as well, like, his records speak for himself. Like, his goal and assist numbers, his contribution, all that sort of, like, they speak for themselves. So you can't argue with his ability, and his stats back him up. It's just, he's, unfortunately for him, his timing is off in it. Like, he's in the wrong era. Unfortunately.
It's a shame. Okay, let's turn up the heat slightly a little bit. And this one is, and we've kept everyone unanimous. So if everyone wanted their opinion on there or wanted to let people know who it was, feel free to, kind of bang it on the comment section. As amazing as he was, and the legacy he created is unmatched, Sir Alex Ferguson is to blame for the current downfall of Manchester United. If he wasn't so concerned about that stupid horse, we wouldn't have had 20 years of Glazer ownership. Now, listen, it's the wording of it is quite strong in certain bits, but he's got a point about the horse situation.
Factually correct, yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So with that, is it John Magnier, the initial guy? Yeah. And there was kind of beef over fucking breeding rights or something to do with the horse.
Yeah.
Fergie didn't like it. This Magnier geezer partnered with fucking JP to sell their shares to the Glazers. And then obviously 20 years on, we all know what the Glazers have done. So I get his point. Had the Glazers would have took a different route, not the Glazers, sorry. Had United took a different route or Magnier, we might not have. But then at the same time, you don't. Is it the devil you better you know? I don't know the actual saying.
Yeah, it's better the devil you know.
Yeah, so you don't know. It could have been. I don't know if it's possible, but it could have been worse owners than the Glazers who they would have ended up selling to. So you can't all the time, can you? You don't truly know for sure what would have happened.
There's also B Sky B, who are Sky Television. as we now know it, owned by Rupert Murdoch. They also bid for United around the same time, but were blocked from doing so because of the television rights and favoritism and all this sort of stuff, which nowadays you're like, why the fuck was that blocked when you've got literal states owning clubs and sports washing things and stuff? So yeah, it could have gone myriad different ways. It really could. Also, that loophole that they used to get the club is also been closed. And had that not been an option in the first place, they wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. But yeah, like hindsight's 2020 in it. So factually correct. It's hard to just sort of put all the blame at the feet of Sir Alex Ferguson, really.
Yeah, and to be honest, what he's done for the fucking club in general, from the
Yeah.
ground up, I mean, he's literally made United what it is. Like, it dominated English football in the 90s and continued to do that and rebuilt 5-6 different squads. So you definitely cannot overlook that. But the timing of that kind of horse thing, I understand that one element to it. So we'll move on from that. I've seen what they've done there. There's a bit of a curveball, but we'll deal with them, no problem. This one, I mean, pretty straightforward. Maybe some people disagree with it, but something quite topical, Sam, that we've spoken about recently. All these ex-players make controversial statements deliberately to sell podcasts. It says podcasts. My apologies. Podcasts and views. I don't think that's... Is that a hot take? I don't know.
It could be, because he arguably, like... and I don't want to throw shade on certain pundits and certain players.
Do it.
No, like in terms, because they threw shade on Lisandro Martinez for his height and his stature, which is a non-basis for criticizing someone, because it's not something he could change. Like, he is the height he is. So I don't want to. And it's the same with intelligence. Is like, are they smart enough to do that, or are they just talking out their ass and it just happens to get them clicks and stuff like that, and then they've pivoted it into selling stuff? That is the question I would ask.
For me, listen, the media landscape is littered with these type of pundits. There's more of them than there isn't, in my opinion. And the way I would do it, I would kind of categorize them, right? So the pundits who will say anything for a click, and let me know if you agree, Sam. Jamie O'Hara, Gabby Bonglahor, Richard Keys, Paul Merson. They're the ones I would chuck in that category, yeah?
Yeah.
Controversial takes, Roy Keane, Jamie Carragher, Souness. They're quite strong go on.
Souness, I would say, is sometimes personal though. Like the whole Pogba thing was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then Roy Keane's now strayed into that territory with personal stuff as well. So there's that.
But do you know what's good about it? Do you know like that? You know, like when you go to somewhere, like, I don't know, if you're a leisure centre or a community centre, and you have them old men who have like their own gentleman's club or whatever they got, and they just kind of they do their own thing, and you can only get in a certain way. Souness, Richard Keys, and Roy Keane, they remind me of those kind of guys. Like, I don't know what the proper word is for it, but just looking down at you a little bit, like, oh, we did this back in the day. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think Keno has strayed into the personal territory now, which I don't like. Like, he was all I understand Keno, like, 'cause he's a grumpy man. He has always been that way, so I understand that why they do things the way they do with him. But that strayed into personal territory. And then the Souness thing's weird, really, really weird. Like the fixation on Pogba, I did not get that at all.
I did like the memes that came out from it though. Like,
that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, you could talk about this on the news, like something that was really hot at the time. You're like, but where's Paul Pogba in all of this? And just a picture.
What of a game where he was like, I haven't got Pogba and he wasn't even in the squad or something. Yeah, like he was injured or something, and then somebody pointed out, Graham, he's not in the squad.
Yeah, I like they flipped it as well, the narrative, because he said, like, I remember him saying, oh well, you know, Pogba got 4 assists in one game against Leeds, I think it was, and he turned around and said that's what I expect for a £90 million player. And then when Wirtz at his start to the season, £115 million player, did fuck all.
He needs time. He needs.
Didn't hear a fucking peep. It's funny, innit, when the situation flipped. On to the next one. I'll get into the comments in a minute. Don't you worry. This one, again, I think this guy's really excited. He or she could have been. I don't know who it was. When we beat Arsenal, we will have a shot at the Premier League next season. Now, I don't know if they're saying we'll win the league.
What needs to happen? What needs to happen?
Because of a single win over Arsenal, or that can be a catalyst to push us forward. No doubt, Sam, that if we did beat Arsenal, people won't be talking about a title, obviously, but they'll definitely talk about Europe.
Yeah, it's hard to. I need more context from this.
Yeah.
I need to know what like in his head when we beat Arsenal. What is the sequence of events that leads to us winning a title next season? Like, do Arsenal just completely fall off? Like, just throw everything away and
City
stuff,
get done
and
with the
then
charges. Arsenal fall off.
City get relegated. Liverpool are still shit.
Yeah.
Florian Wirtz is still like holding the club up. Alexander Isaac's still injured. And then United spend 200 in on their midfield in the summer, and we just surge up the table and take the title. Is that what's going on in his head? This is a very hot take because this is bollocks.
Hot.
Like,
yeah,
absolute bollocks. This is not happening. Like,
I
this
think
is
they
not
might
happening.
still be lightheaded from the Manchester derby, but I love the optimism.
Yeah.
I love the positivity.
Oh, great! No, if it happens, I will sit on this channel and go, whoever wrote this, I am wrong, and you were completely right.
Yeah,
and I am so sorry.
We'll circle back to it, and we can use it as evidence. Say this. Everyone was calling this guy a nutter at the time. You know, clock strikes twice, all that kind of business.
Yeah.
Okay, he is going up again because I feel like this is really going to get the conversation going. Rooney is a bigger legend than Cristiano Ronaldo. I'll let you take the floor with this, and then I'll give my opinion on it, Sam.
For United, yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Why?
United,
Elaborate.
He was here longer. He won more with us. His longevity with the club, the goal scoring record, the impact he had as an England player, arguably the greatest English player to ever be. Like, it's up there. And I think Ronaldo has a lot of those accolades, but he doesn't have a lot of them at Manchester United.
Yeah,
he has them at Real Madrid. So he's a Real Madrid legend for sure. Ronaldo. Rooney is a Manchester United legend.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I think longevity's definitely got to come into it. Like you mentioned, Rooney was at the club for 13 years, I think it was. I think Ronaldo maybe 6, 7, something like that.
Yeah.
In terms of trophies won, they're not far away. I think Rooney maybe won a couple more Premier League titles, a couple more League Cups or what have you. Both of them, arguably in that team that they played in 2007, 2008, was one of the best teams. A lot of people regard it as the best team ever that United had.
The front three was insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely
the guy
insane.
Played every position, pretty much.
Yeah.
He sacrificed his own personal numbers for the benefit of the team. I know there was that situation with Man City where, fucking people spray painting his house and all that kind of shit. So that tarnished it a little bit. But I just think with Ronaldo, especially given how his second time returning to the club and then doing an interview with the Pigeon Lady,
that does tarnish it.
That 100% tarnishes it. But we're talking about bigger legend. What Rooney has done more for a club than what Ronaldo was. Ronaldo, it was more of a personal. Like, he won a Ballon d'Or, won trophy, started getting into his peak, and went off to Madrid. Rooney stayed and continued to contribute for a long period of time. And even in the dark times, when Moyes came in and so on, and Van Gaal, etc., was still here, was still contributing, and was still trying to keep the standards there. That to me is more legendary than what Ronaldo done.
Ronaldo's dream was always Madrid.
Yeah.
His dream was never Manchester United. And I think Rooney's dream was to be at the top club in England, and at the time it is United.
Yeah.
Obviously he's an Evertonian from the start, so he's never going to go to Liverpool. But Chelsea could have got him, Arsenal could have got him, City could have got him at times. So yeah, I think his goal was always to be the top club in England, and he ended up at United. So I think that comes into it as well.
Yeah. Is there anyone in the chat who disagrees with that? So anyone who thinks Ronaldo's a bigger legend than Rooney, and state your reasons why. Aaron in the chat saying hot takes coming in like hotcakes. Him and De Gea are the only legends of recent times. I think it's got Bruno. I really hope we're good enough to win the Prem before Bruno leaves, even if it's a Robbo moment as a sub. I love him. He always gives his all. Roy Keane defo sent that one in. I think that was about the Ferguson one. Guys, the Glazers already had a significant shareholding before all that. The club being floated was the dream. Yeah,
they did.
Yeah. Right. Should we move on to the next one, Sam? Because this one, I think, is the hottest one out of them all, personally.
Okay.
But you tell me if you agree with that. Bruno Fernandes is better than Paul Scholes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No. Don't do this to me.
There are ways you can quantify this, right? And this is going to be really dicey when we get into this conversation, because I think from purely a creative output and metrics, Bruno is better. right? In what he contributes in attacking areas. But obviously, Paul Scholes didn't play that role when he got into
No.
that kind of area later on. Paul Scholes was a conductor, was all about ball progression, was one of the best in that position, has been appreciated from peers, from Pirlo, Zidane, except Iniesta, and Pep Guardiola as well, some of the best minds in the game. And then I think what the longevity United, I mean, Paul Scholes was at United for 20 years.
He retired and then came back.
Came back, and was still one of the best midfielders
in like £10 Sports Direct boots.
Yeah,
when he came
crazy.
back.
And then you talk about big game influence as well. That goal against Barcelona was huge. Semi-finals of Champions League, title run-ins, European finals. When you start totting that up, for me, like it starts getting unbalanced. Is that where you would go with it?
Yeah, there's also the quotes from Xavi and Iniesta, and they said who would get into the midfield with you guys, and the only person they said was Paul Scholes.
Yeah,
and I mean, I don't know a higher compliment than that.
No, for me, Bruno is more of the modern numbers. Kids who are 18 now, for example, they don't really remember Paul Scholes. They would vote Bruno Fernandes because they've watched in the past 5 years and they've seen how killer he's been in the Premier League, and he has been one of the most creative players, and you can't get away 100%. From that, right? But had they watched Paul Scholes for the majority of his career, they would realise, like, I even in as much as I love Bruno in big games, in European games, he has gone missing a couple of times. I think about the final against Spurs, he was awful.
Yeah,
absolutely awful. I don't remember him doing much in Verdansk when we played Villarreal. Don't think he turned up in that final either.
No.
So these are the questions that are going to get thrown, right?
Paul Scholes, like, if you look around, like the comments that, like, I think Zidane praised him as one of the best midfielders he's ever played against. Obviously, Iniesta and Xavi. There was a famous story when Ronaldo came to the club. He was doing all these tricks and flicks and stuff, and Scholes, he was looking at him, and Scholes, you see that tree over there? It's about 60 yards away. Just pings a ball, hits it dead center of the tree, and just said to Ronaldo, "Come back when you can do that." And then Ronaldo spent the rest of the day just trying to hit this tree and just couldn't do it the way he did. The guy is an unnatural freak at talented football. Like, he's just unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. And I again, it's personal preference because I was born in 88. I grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, so Paul Scholes was just ever prominent in the thing. Like, Ryan Giggs was my favorite player ever, but Paul Scholes was definitely up there. Like, I have to go with Scholes, but it's not to say Bruno is not a fantastic player, because he is. He legitimately is.
Thierry Henry as well. I remember speaking, like, when they played United, he'd be the guy that they shut down.
Yeah.
And you speak about how good United was. I think Scholes has won 12 Premier League titles, I think. 11, 12, something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, multiple European championships. Like, and the mad thing is about Scott, he don't even look like a footballer.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He does. I think he said he was asthmatic. Didn't have the best physical kind of profile, but that's how good he was.
Couldn't tackle either.
No,
it was
in his head,
he
just had a picture and he could dictate a game against almost anyone. Like, a phenomenal player. T2 saying Scholes may be a plonker, but he's miles clear of Bruno in terms of stature. Even if he is a ginger twat, this is coming from a ginger twat. Cole Palmer not happy at Chelsea, reportedly, and Casemiro leaving end of season. Could it be? We spoke about that in the last show. I think it's definitely interesting.
We need to put that Avengers meme up. Don't give me hope. Like,
yes.
Don't let me get excited about that, because it'll end in heartbreak. It really will.
Yeah. As for what's on the screen, I think this would be more of a conversation had Bruno been at the club for 20 years himself.
Yes.
Which has gone away from football now.
And had United been successful in that period as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, Sam, I'm interested to get your thoughts on this one. Manchester United should bring back Marcus Rashford.
It's personal opinion, really, isn't it? It's personal opinion. The way we're playing under Carrick, he probably would fit right in, wouldn't he? Like, as that left-hand side. Like, we are struggling on that side a little bit. Cunha is not quite that right thing. Ahmad is not quite a left winger. Mason Mount don't really fit there. So, yeah, he probably would fit right in, and he'd probably do really well under Carrick. I think he would respect him and sort of, like, play well underneath him. My personal preference is no. I think there was too many moments of, like, showing up late, going out to nightclubs, not taking it seriously, too many inconsistent performances. Like, I just, for me, no, I don't think so.
I think there's always that thing where it's like, oh, bring him back and he'll do well, and people live in a bit of a
For how long? For how long?
yeah, in a dream state. And I just think in order for Marcus Rashford to truly kick on and maintain what he's doing, he's got to be in a different environment. He's got to be in a different league where the media isn't constantly on him and asking him questions and doing this and doing that. I just think you take him out of that environment now and bring him back to United, similar habits will start kicking in, old friends, girlfriends, whatever it is. Just keep him at Barcelona. I think the initial price that we agreed on is pennies, by the way. That what
24 million.
That's stupid for a player. Like, he's clearly talented. He's doing bits at Barcelona. They would be thick not to activate that 25, 30 mil.
Well, they want to lower the price, don't they?
Which is crazy because Marcus Rashford is still 26, 27, I think. Like, he's still got years left, and and will probably end up going to the World Cup and could be starting in the World Cup on the left-hand side. I think that pennies, the agreement that we're having is ridiculous. I really, really do. T2, sorry, go on. Did you say something?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
T2, I'm a Rashford fan, but he left at the right time. I wish there had been more stability around him, but it's over, lads. Completely agree with that. Completely agree. Yeah. Mark saying Dorgu's our new left-sided player along with Cunha. Yeah, I'm happy with the options we've got as well, man. And that's another thing.
If he keeps playing the way he does, then yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, last two coming up. This one, Man United are 2 good midfielders away from winning the league. This is from actual people, by the way. We're not just like threw this on a graphic. These are you guys who have put these hot takes in unanimously. So what do you think about that? 2 good midfielders away from winning the league.
Disagree. I think we need some fullbacks as well. I would say we need some fullbacks, and maybe like we and you spoke about for a few times, an experienced striker.
Yeah,
just to sort of change that up at the front a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're maybe 2 midfielders, a right back, a left back, and an experienced striker away from challenging for the league.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, and I'll ask the viewers this as well. Who's top of the league at the minute?
Arsenal.
Why are they top of the league?
The squad depth, the way they play, the lack of goals conceded.
Yeah, exactly. We've kept 3 clean sheets all season. You are never, ever winning a league title, even if you bring midfielders in, if you're defending the way you're defending. So I think wing-backs, like Sam said, is a massive, massive part of that. I think, obviously, Steele in the middle will help significantly. The goalkeeper's got to grow into his role as well. He's another one who's young, first season, and he'll get better and better. I think with time, we might get there. But if you're talking about next season, it's way too soon. Way too soon. Maybe, 2 decent midfielders from consistently challenging for the top 5, I would agree with. Belieber and Anderson coming in, I think would definitely do that. But winning the league, I still think we're a good few years away from it. I think people are a little bit high off the Carrick vibes at the minute, which, again, I don't mind the positivity, but it is what it is.
No.
Okay, last one for hot takes before we head off. Mbumo plays more minutes at centre forward than Šeško. I'll let you kick this off, Sam.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously he scored 3 goals in 2 games before Carrick came in. We did the preview for the City game, and I think we all picked Šeško to start, didn't we? Because we were like, we're not dropping him. Like, he scored 3 goals. Like, why would you drop him? Carrick dropped him, played Mbumo up front, and it worked like perfectly. So before that game, I would have been like, absolutely not. But now you're like, it's a possibility, man. It's definitely a possibility.
I remember mentioning the video Harrison done on the overlap breakdown about how Carrick worked with players at Middlesbrough and what kind of strikers that he liked. So when Mbumo did start, it didn't surprise me that much that he was up there. And also as well, we've been crying out for an experienced player to be in that role. Mbumo was experienced, been in the league for 5 years, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm more than happy of bring Šeško in, get him a goal, let him build up, let him develop, and then we'll speak about long-term future and where he's going to be at. Like, just because he was bought for quite a lot of money, I don't think that should automatically assume that he should be starting every single game in big games. Like, I think you can use him for certain ones, right?
Bruno scored like 20 plus goals, didn't he, last season for Brentford? So it's not like he's not reached a level of like if you had a striker and he scored 20 plus goals in a season, you'd be like, that's good output. That's good striker. So yeah, like it makes sense. It's not like he's foreign to goal scoring, is it? Like he knows where the net is. So like Cunha's the same, like he's in the same thing. So it's not like they don't know how to score. So yeah, I don't see why this might not be true.
Do you have a preference from seeing both of them there now? Who are you playing in the bigger games? Who are you playing? When we come up against low blocks, obviously that's going to be something that's going on in Carrick's head. But what's your preference in that?
I think the big games like Arsenal, City, that sort of stuff, I think in Boomo makes sense.
Mm.
And then against the low block, I think the link up play and the drop deep and the ability to, if Sesko can start being a bit like Carl Anker mentions this quite a lot, if he can stop being so nice with centre backs and start using his size and his height and sticking an elbow in the ribs,
deliveries
like
into
shoving
the box
them and stuff like that.
Well.
He could be a serious threat, and he could be a problem for like low block teams, because then they're like, oh shit, we're gonna have to mark this guy and he's gonna make our life a living misery. So then that provides a bit of space for the other people, and his link up play is already very good. So I think he could be a really good option in that circumstance, but obviously he's got to develop and sort of get better in that. But yeah, I think that's the way it might go, but who knows? Carrick, we've only got one game sample so far, so it's very difficult to sort of make guesses or assumptions at this point.
It has to be said as well, I think European football is going to be tying to massively with this. So you can have Mbeumo as your starting striker. Let's say we get into the Champions League next season. You have Mbeumo as your starting striker in the big Premier League games. And when you want to kind of rotate a little bit, if you're playing a Feyenoord in the Champions League away from home or something like that, you can throw a Sesko in there. Get experience. You're still playing in the Champions League, so he's happy. I think where you will struggle is if you're going out of cup competitions like we did this season, like the Carabao and FA Cup, and you've only got Premier League games. That's where you're going to struggle to manage him a little bit, and that's where people start. With 70 million striker, he's not playing at all. That's when you'll struggle. But I don't know. I think there's something about United this season where they might just sneak into the Champions League spots, so we could be okay.
The way the league is so wide open. Like nobody wants that 4th, 5th spot. Like nobody wants it at this point. So it's definitely up for grabs. And if you could put a run together and get a couple of wins, you could find yourself like opening up that gap from everybody else below you. Like I think the top 3 is probably sorted. It's probably going to be a combination of Arsenal, City, Villa.
Yeah.
Everything else, I think, is up for grabs.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, for any more reaction, obviously we've got Michael Carrick's press conference coming up tomorrow. I think that'll be, so we'll have reaction from that over on our Instagram. Casemiro just announced that he's leaving the club as well, so that's all over Twitter and Instagram. Please do drop us a follow if you don't already for your news fix, and then clips from these kind of shows, hot takes, the preview, they will all be on TikTok, which is nearly at 30k as well. So please do drop us a follow. Please do consider subscribing to the channel as well. I'm not sure how many subs we're on at the minute. Usually I'm on it with that. But
33,842.
Yeah, so we're pushing for 35k. Obviously, that's the milestone next, but then the big one's 50k as well. And the community is growing more and more every day. And the more the community grows, the more we can start doing more shows like this, like hot takes, and involve you guys, because I think it's really, really important. And the last plug before, I know I'm pecking your head with this, but merchandise, hoodies, caps, capybaras, should I say, mugs as well. I know a couple of you guys have bought some stuff already. We really appreciate the support. There's a couple more bits on there as well. If anyone wants to check it out, the link will be in the description. Tag us, take pictures, do all that good stuff, and become a part of the Real Red Ultras. And yeah, we appreciate the consistent support.
Leave your hot takes. If you didn't mention it in the community post, what we put out, put them in the comments of here. If you would just watch this video and you're like, what post? Put yours on here, and we'll definitely reply to some, and we might use them again for the next hot takes thing. So please do leave them in the comments.
Yeah. Last comment before we head off. Maltese Devil says, about time we had a decent performance in this black kit. It's nice to enjoy watching United match this season wearing it, maybe this weekend versus Arsenal. Didn't we also play Brentford in the black kit, I feel like?
Yeah, that was a bad game.
Which was a really bad game. So hopefully not one of those. But yeah, you're right, Maltese Devil. Appreciate you all. Leave a like of the video for us. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you